the idea of stepping into oneself is what inspires me as an artist, and what Hello, beautiful. Your beauty ally Gabbie here. If you're new to the channel, this is where we lift the veil on the beauty industry by doing behind the scenes vlogs, hauls, tutorials, and all sorts of other content that I can't wait to share with you. So today I wanted to introduce myself. I've been on YouTube now for coming up on exactly 1 month. It's been such a journey putting the channel together, releasing it, talking to you guys about it, and sharing with you. And one of the first comments that I actually got was from somebody who asked me to do a Q&A. They wanted to know who I was. Now, I'm someone who always felt like I wanted to stand behind my brand, that be on social media, on my website, or here on YouTube. I always felt like I don't want to show too much of myself because it's just kind of strange. But through the years and talking with peers of mine who are also in the entertainment field, whether they be makeup artists or influencers, I understand that, you know, I go to channels because I want to know about the person, and I want to know about the person behind the channel. So I understand that you all might want to know about me. So without any further ado, I'm going to share some of the Q&A questions that I got after asking you what were your most burning questions about me and about what I do. So the first thing that I did was I actually logged onto my Instagram account and asked people this weekend to share questions that they would like answered. I'm really happy though, because no one asked anything that was like too personal. So I spent the weekend kind of playing with my products. As you can see, I have my setup behind me that isn't quite complete yet. I'm still shopping for some stuff. And then I went on my Instagram account and actually asked you guys questions that you wanted answered on today's video. So without any further ado, I'm gonna look at what you guys asked me and share the answers here. All right, so on my Instagram, on my Facebook, by direct message, this is what you wanted to know. I work with a fabulous person, and you can hear his work right now. His artist name is Mallory, and I met him online a couple months ago. He's been fantastic to work with, and he's actually the one that's developing all the audio content for my channel. If you want to check out his work, I'm gonna leave a link to his stuff in the description box of this video. Please feel free to go check it out. I think he's a genius. And he actually went ahead and asked me, comment tu fais pour t'en sortir avec le confinement? So I'm bilingual, fun fact. I speak French, it's my first language, and then I learned English when I was in elementary school. He asked in French, how am I dealing with So, what did I do to get through that? Excellent question. I drank. No. I have a fantastic family, and I have a fantastic small group of friends who are fantastic, like a great support system for me. So there was definitely a lot of video calling with my mom and my grandmother, a lot of phone calls with other family members. I have my cousin whom I love, who lives in Australia. She knows who she is. And definitely talking to her a lot. And I was speaking with friends. So really close friends of mine, some of which you will see in upcoming tutorials that I have prepared for you. Just chatting with them, going out, respecting obviously social distancing and whatnot, got me through it. Another thing that I was able to choose to do was just, you know, doing makeup became pretty much illegal at some point. So we weren't allowed to see clients, but I wasn't gonna let my passion kind of die. I absolutely love my brushes, my tools, everything that I play with. So I did kind of sit down and start playing with my products, really get to know my camera that I'm using right now, and creating content both for my Facebook page and my Instagram as well, connecting with folks with those tutorials. And that situation kind of gave me the push to fully explore the idea of being like a full content creator as well as a business owner And eventually, you know, it did give me the courage to kind of launch this channel, which is something that I've wanted to do forever. If you look in the stats of the channel, it's been mine since like 2015 or something crazy. I have loved the idea of being a YouTuber since I started doing makeup artistry, but I always felt like, okay, it's something I'm gonna do later. I was always pushing it back, feeling like I'm gonna do it, but I'll do that, you know, it'll happen whenever it happens. And then the global situation kind of gave me the time to fully explore that and get into it. So I am quite, you know, I feel like as far as the countries that have been hit with the pandemic, I feel like Canada is a place of privilege where we did have support from our government. We did have the ability to kind of stay home for lots of us. And I don't want to say grateful because I understand the incredible loss of life that we've endured, and use the time that I had to create more of what makes me happy. And for that ability and that privilege, I am grateful. And I hope you understand where I'm coming from with that. So to answer your question, Mallory, what got me through the pandemic? My art. Makeup has saved my life so many times. And once again, you know, my passion did get me through this and will continue getting me through this. All right, so we're gonna move on to maybe something a little lighter. My client, Josiane from Petite and Bold, asked me, do I want to do this my whole life, or do I feel like I can reconvert this into something bigger? And she put it into like these little bunny ears. I'm always gonna want to play with makeup. But that's just a fact. Some days I'm not even feeling well, and I'll call a friend over and just play with their face, and it makes me happy. I don't see that disappearing. I don't see that changing. I feel like I'm gonna always want to explore makeup artistry, explore playing with my hands, explore playing with other people's faces in some way, shape, or form. So I think I'm always going to be an artist first. Do I want to reconvert my experience into, I don't know, something else? I feel like I do, and I feel like I have. So I went from just being a bridal artist to doing more fashion work. I went from doing fashion work to film, not necessarily in that order, but like I definitely always took whatever experiences I had and converted them into something else. I went from being a makeup artist to being a makeup educator. I will continuously try to recycle and upcycle, I should say, my craft into things that speak to my soul. And is that one day going to be a brand? Is that one day going to be merch? Is my business expertise one day going to be used to start a different type of business? I believe so. But I hope I never lose my brushes, and I hope I always play with my products, because I know that truly makes me happy. That was a fantastic question, Zofian. Thank you so much. I'm gonna leave a link to her work as well in the description box, because Petite and Bold is a Montreal Black-owned lifestyle brand that I've had the honor of working with, and they're just a lot of fun. So I can bring anyone to discover them. I would love that. So description box to see what Josiane does. And thank you so much for participating, girlie. Mwah. Okay, Miss Ingrid from Instagram asked me, what is my inspiration when I do makeup? That's such a beautiful question. What inspires me when I do makeup? My logo has a rose in it, and I'm always fascinated with those flowers, which seems so basic, right? But there's actually a story behind a rose. I'm not just like a red rose on Valentine's Day type of chick. I love the black rose that only supposedly grows in like a little village off into, I'll link an article about the dark black rose. I had read a poem by Segovia Emil, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, which reads, Black Rose. It was in my flaws I found a much deeper truth, and it is from them I bloom, a black rose. And I remember reading those lines and feeling like that defined exactly the process that I was going through in my early to mid 20s. And I feel I'm gonna go through at least until the end of my 20s. Just this come to understand, accept, and even celebrate your flaws because they are a part of who you are. And the idea and the sheer act of blooming as a woman and becoming who you're, stepping into your destiny and becoming the person that you always were meant to be, reconnecting with the child within you, to create the woman that you will be tomorrow. That process is one of the most difficult ones that I've ever embarked on. One of the processes that are the most humbling of my life so far. And I recall reading that and just feeling right at home within those lines. And I wanted to incorporate a blooming rose with a black outline within my logo because I felt like when women take the time to care for themselves, when women take the time to call me and ask me to perform a service, that's what they're going through. They're blooming. They're stepping into who they are. They're trusting me with that process. We're helping them with that process. It's something they do on their own. And then as a makeup artist, I come in and I try to see who you are and highlight that with my products without ever masking the essence of who you are. So I'm not there to alter you. I'm just there to help you shine. And I feel like I am a part of that process where I'll embrace something that you see as a flaw as a makeup artist and I'll help you enhance it so that hopefully you can bloom and step into the woman that you want to be that day. Whether it be a bride, whether it be, you want to put on a blazer and be a boss lady for a photo shoot, or whether it's a model that has to go from just who she is as she steps in at 6 a.m. to being the embodiment of an entire brand that she's about to shoot for. It's so humbling to be a part of that process and see that transformation, witness it, and even take part in it in my own small way. So the idea of stepping into oneself is what inspires me as an artist and what I strive to help create with my clients. That's what I would say. Also, my grandmother is one of my first and will always be one of my biggest inspirations. My grandmother is someone who doesn't wear makeup outside of lipstick, but just that understanding of her elegance and of her womanhood and her ability to step into a room, change the climate of the room, and just with her presence, impose joy and wellness to everyone that she meets. That's just one of the talents that my grandmother has. I wish you all could meet her. She's an amazing woman. But that capacity that she has, that's something I wanted to try to bring. And that's kind of a part of the woman that I want to be also. So my grandmother and the act of stepping into who you are. Those are the two things that inspire me as an artist. As a person, even before being an artist, as a person. Okay, I'm sure some of you hearing that initial question felt like they wanted to hear, like, are you inspired by architecture? Are you inspired by color? Are you inspired by texture? Another thing that inspires me that I do want to add to my answer is just definitely texture and skin. I don't know why. I will spend hours on Pinterest just like looking at skin tones. I just think skin is like the prettiest thing that we all have it, I don't know. I love skin and looking at different skin tones and just how the light plays on the sun can play on your skin depending on the product that you use. definitely inspires me, even down to like my eye looks or how I try to work my lip looks or whatnot. So that's maybe a more technical answer for you. All right, my girly Gladys Mayanda Divitidi, that I always call Miss Shutdown. And I tried to start this trend of calling her Shutdown in the city, and literally no one followed. But listen, when she gets on a runway, she shuts it down, and that is how and why I came up with that nickname for her. So Miss Gladys commented, why did I choose this job? Why did I choose makeup artistry? Now, these artists will tell you, I didn't choose makeup. Makeup chose me. It's true though. I have pictures of me like as a toddler, just putting random colors on my mom's face, and I'm so focused on what I'm doing for some strange reason. And then when I was around 13, I found myself just always wanting to do everybody's makeup at school. Like I wanted to put on mascara for my friends. I wanted to put on blush. I wanted to sit everybody down and like play with their face. I didn't really know why. But I recall it was also that year where I found out through like a family friend that makeup artistry was actually a thing and actually a job. And the minute I put two and two together that like, not only can I play with people's faces, but I can be paid to do this and be my own boss, I felt like it encompassed everything that I had ever dreamed of as a kid. So I said, okay, I'm gonna be a makeup artist. Just never found another career option. Like that was just what I was going to do. I had this uncle that lived, well, still lives here in Montreal, that I like loved and still love to this day. And I was just gonna go to Montreal and like him, get an apartment. And just like he was a freelancer in his field, I was gonna freelance in beauty. It was really simple in my head. And I think being naive really helped in the beginning, because that's literally what I did. Like I packed up my little childhood bedroom at 17 and moved out here and got an apartment and looked for makeup school. Like I didn't know any better. I didn't know anything about anything, but I just set out and I said, okay, I need a job. I'm gonna be a hostess, a waitress, a this, a that, the other, and I'm gonna save all my money and pay, you know, go to makeup school. My parents didn't let me pay for my school, by the way. They paid for me. But in my mind, I was gonna come out here and work and save my cash and pay for school and just do this. And I kind of did. It kind of just happened. Why did I choose it? Why did I choose it? Just so much, it sounds dumb, but it's so much fun. Seriously, everyone that's come here or everyone that has been in contact with me while I'm working tells me like, Gabbie, you have such a smile on your face, you're so focused, you look like you're really passionate about what you do. And I am. I can't imagine anything else sparking this much joy within me. So sometimes in life, I don't necessarily fully break it down and understand why I do things. I just kind of go from my soul and from what speaks to me. Makeup spoke to me, and that's why I did it. That's my answer. All right, so my next question was, what are my inspirations in life? Well, I feel like I already answered. My inspirations in makeup and in life are very close. They just are. Like, life imitates art sometimes. So, yeah. My beautiful friend and model Aye asked me, oh, so right here is a picture of Aye and her man. Are they cute? Are they so cute? And so she's saying, listen, I'm in a black and white couple. So she's in an interracial relationship, as you can see. And she says, I transfer my foundation on his nose. Why are you so close to him, girl? You trying to tell his day? You kissing him and stuff. Anyways, so she's asking me, what do I suggest for that? For your foundation transferring onto your boyfriend's nose? Let me tell you something. If you have makeup on your face and he's getting that close, he knows what he's getting himself into. Okay, no, but seriously, what I recommend, all right, the first thing you want to do is less is more. So whenever you're applying your foundation, you want to make sure that you apply it only to the areas that you need. You have fantastic skin, so like if you're doing foundation, really just go on the high points wherever you get a bit of discoloration. I get that you might want to do foundation once in a while, but you don't need it at all. And just put a pea-sized amount and just try to really rub it into your skin. Certain foundations are less pigmented than others. For instance, if you go for a BB cream, you're not gonna have as much pigment in there. And then once that's applied, I find that baking works very, very well. So you can use one of these powders. I think this is too light for you. This is the Ben Nye banana powder that everybody knows. But I find if you have, like Ben Nye makes this powder in translucent, you can bake with that, leave it on your skin, and then after, you can use the Makeup Forever, oops, it's upside down. You can use the Makeup Forever HD setting powder. So you want to bake, remove the excess, and then you can even reset with this here. And I find that that's going to create a translucent layer over your nose that will prevent it from transferring as much. And that's just how I've been able to keep my foundation from getting on other people. Like even when I would meet with people and I hate when it transfers. It's so cringy. So don't apply a lot, set it. You can even set it. You can even take a Kleenex and half it. So, and then use this side just to grab the excess, and then use a brush and go over it with powder so you have just a little bit that goes through. That's another thing that I've seen done. But generally speaking, my professional advice is just to bake, set, put a good setting spray. Don't use a lot of product, and stay away from your hand. Oh my gosh, okay, this was so much fun. It went by way quicker than I thought it would. I'm quite shook, actually. I'm gonna give you some answers to questions that you didn't ask because I feel like I do want to introduce myself. So my name is Gabbie McGuire. That is my grandmother's maiden name, and if you listen to the entire video, you know why I chose the maiden name. It's just so inspirational to me. I have been doing makeup artistry since 2015 full-time. I am from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, so I'm a West Indian, and I was raised here in Canada. I have a passion for makeup. I specialize in beauty work. So you're not going to see me do special effects and things of that nature. I'm just less drawn to it for some reason. I also do hair, and I have education for nails. I operate out of the Montréal, Quebec area, and I travel. I love my job. I love the career that I'm building and the life that I'm kind of building. Very, very passionate, quite intense person if you know me forever. What else can I tell you about me? Everything seems so personal. I have a little brother. Love him so much. Still so weird. But also some frequently asked questions that I can answer for y'all. I have started being a makeup educator as of 2020. I still offer makeup classes, so I'd love to teach women how to take care of their own makeup. As far as education for artists, that's something I'm not doing right now, but I have done in the past and definitely love my experience. I am bilingual, so je parle français, absolument, c'est ma première langue, et je suis une franco-ontarienne très fière. Avant de déménager à Montréal, j'étais à Ottawa. And I speak English as well since I was in elementary school. I am bilingual. You will catch me on this channel speaking to you in Franglish because that is my official language. I can dream in English and wake up in French and vice versa. It is what it is. And I speak just enough Spanish to embarrass myself, but I can and will get around if left to my own devices in a Spanish-speaking area. Yo quiero tequila. See? I know the essentials. Yes, so if you have any other questions for me, make sure to leave them down in the comment section. I will make sure to respond to them. I thought this was super fun. I hope you guys liked it as much as I did. If you want to see more of these, don't worry, because I'm going to be doing them quite often. So that is all for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Ciao, my loves.